So today we're diving into the life of someone often called a pillar of South Sudan's liberation struggle, Kuol Manyang. Honestly, his story sounds like a movie. Absolutely. I mean, from a small town in Baitit Bor County to being one of the highest ranking commanders in the SPLA, that's a journey. And what's wild is how grounded his beginnings were: vocational training in Khartoum, then East Germany, engineering diplomas. Yeah, he wasn't some privileged figure born into politics. General Kuol was literally working as an instructor and deputy manager at training centers before deciding to rebel in 1983. That move changed everything. That was the turning point. Joining the SPLA wasn't just a career change, it was a full commitment to a cause. He left behind comfort for a liberation movement, and not just as a foot soldier. By 1985, he was the zonal commander in Bor. And then there's the Red Army, those 21,000 miners he mobilized and took to Ethiopia. That's both haunting and fascinating. It shows a strategic mindset. Preserve the next generation while the older one fights. Exactly. It wasn't just about war, it was about preparing for a future beyond war. That vision, you don't see it in every commander. And from what's been said, he carried that same mindset into politics. Right? Post-war, he didn't fade into the background. Minister of Transport, Governor of Jonglei, Minister of Defense. The guy just kept stepping up. It's like he saw service as a lifelong mission. And he wasn't one of those leaders you hear rumors about with shady dealings either. He built a rep on anti-corruption, fairness, and a development-first mindset. That's rare in post-conflict governance. It really is. Like, when he was governor of Jonglei, his main goals weren't just PR fluff. He actively worked on disarmament, reducing cattle raids, and tackling child abductions. That's boots on the ground leadership. He kind of reminds me of those wartime generals who actually understand what peace requires. You know what I mean? He didn't just fight to win a war, he worked to stabilize what came after. Yeah, and he's remained loyal to SPLM's SPLA ever since 1983. That kind of consistency is honestly impressive in any political climate, let alone in a place like South Sudan, where alliances shift constantly. And let's not forget, he's received honors from President Salva Kiir himself. That speaks volumes. He's not just respected, he's officially recognized as a legacy figure. What I find interesting is how he balanced military grit with almost a philosophical approach to governance. Like discipline, patience, anti-corruption, that's not just military talk, that's leadership ethos. Maybe that's why people still speak of him with such reverence. He wasn't perfect, of course, no leader is. But his impact is undeniable. He helped shape not just a movement, but a nation. And here's a thought to close on. Do we, as a global community, really understand what it means to dedicate your life to building a country from scratch? Because that's what Kuol Manyang did. Not for fame, not for riches, just for the people. Powerful stuff. Makes you wonder, how many stories like his are still untold? Happy 16th May, General Kuol.